Can I train without physical contact? And on one side, yes, you can. On another, no, you can't. Again, it comes back to what are we training for. So if you're training for reality, if you're training for full on, I'm going to do this, you have to be aware of how much of your training is no contact. So a lot of people, oh, no contact, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. So you want boxers to stop shadow boxing then, because that's no contact training. And that essentially is what in the martial arts kata is essentially shadow boxing. But again, as I mentioned in the clips, because kata is not trained correctly, it's misinterpreted, it comes across as not working. So no contact training can work as long as you understand that it is an add-on to the actual physically getting involved. Like I can stand there all day and run through Moroto Seoinage. As soon as I can do that 1,000 times a day, it's not going to be as beneficial to me as actually getting on a mat and having a pull about with somebody who's trying to resist. Yes, you can do the visualization techniques. They help immensely. Running through shadow sparring helps immensely. But if you really want it to work if you really want it to work properly or for real, you have to get in there and get some contact. If your question in terms of no contact training was about complete fraudsters such as George Dillman and I think they're called the Yellow Bamboo Group or the Yellow Bamboo Club, if your training is with them, then no, that type of shit doesn't work. You can't go Hurricane and knock someone out with no touch. No touch knockout does not work, because to knock someone out, the knock is causing sufficient impact to create brain shake, which is what causes the unconsciousness. I can't knock you without touching you. Verbal knocks, I suppose, but they don't work quite as well. So no touch knockouts, no touch self-defense does not work. I suppose you could say that the verbal fence is a no-touch self-defense. Verbal ability to talk something down and to de-escalate. I suppose that could be no contact training, but I would suggest that you still have the full contact training, so that if the verbal doesn't work, you don't go, ah shit, I haven't got anything else. I'll just repeat what I've said again. Please don't do this. It doesn't work. If the talking doesn't work, then it's going to get physical. If it gets physical, you have to be better at the physical than they are, and you have to be quicker than them. By quicker, I mean you have to be first, not reacting to them. So I personally don't put a lot of emphasis on no contact training. I think the kata and the shadow boxing, because kata is shadow boxing, is great as a warm-up technique. Shadow boxing is great for going over certain techniques in the mirror to make sure that you're getting everything is working in motion and you're popping everything right. Again, if you film yourself doing it, you can send it to an expert and they'll critique you. Then it works. But for actual reality, you need to have contact with your training. And that doesn't mean that you get bashed in the face. It means you need to be hitting pads, hitting a bag. You need to be grappling with a partner. Your partner needs to be giving you feedback on the pads to say, yeah, that's a solid shot. It's nice to think we can just go and they go and get knocked out, because we don't want to deal with violence. We don't like violence, so we don't want to have it in our face. Unfortunately, to deal with violence correctly in a violent manner, we have to be close enough to it that it can touch us. So when you tell somebody, oh, I can tell you how to beat people up without having to touch them, fuck yeah, I don't have to be close enough that they can touch me back. I'm all for that. That's where this charlatan bullshit comes from. So the Yellow Bamboo Club group, whatever the fuck they're called, George Dillman, all that ilk, they're frauds, they're charlatans. It's been proven time and again. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. If it worked, they'd be making hundreds of millions in combat sports, but they're not. They don't do that for the same reasons that psychics don't win the lottery and that faith healers don't work in hospitals. It's bullshit. So that's my take on it. I hope it's been helpful to you.